I want to read, and I wrote this during the summer, and it says, be yourself, be every piece of yourself. Every thought that says, I want to skateboard, I want to plant a garden, I want to be happy, I want to love, I want to dress like that, I want to learn how to do hair. Every piece of yourself, be all of yourself. There's only a piece of time that gets the pleasure of meeting you. Give it the pleasure of meeting you before your days run out. So, give life the pleasure of meeting all of you, literally. There's only a moment of time that gets to experience you. That's basically what I'm saying. There's only a moment of time that gets that blessing of meeting you, experiencing you. Why not allow it to experience all of you? So I want to encourage everybody, every listener to be all of yourself. You may not necessarily be hiding who you are or ashamed of who you are, nothing like that. But people may not just get to experience all of you, every piece of you, every thought. Of course, not every, you don't act on every single thought, but I'm saying the parts of you that's like, why not? This is who I want to be. This is, how I want to dress. This is how I want to, I want to plant a garden. I want to skateboard. I want to be a skateboarder, stuff like that. Why not? You only get a piece of life to live. Like, after you're gone, life gonna go on. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, the ball gonna keep rolling after you're gone. So while you're here, while you're on earth, while you get to have these moments, give those moments all of you. This is your life. We're only here for a moment. Like I said, you never know when your time is up. Therefore, live fully in each day. Every single day, live fully. Make your days personal. So like I said, if you want to learn how to skateboard, do that. If you want to dress a certain way, do that. If you want to learn how to do lashes and start a business, do that. Give life your fullest. Live life to the fullest. Give that time. Give time the pleasure of meeting you. So that's that quote. And then I have another quote I want to read this morning that came from Pinterest. Not from me, not from ventbreak. It came from Pinterest. I don't know who wrote it, but I just saw it and I loved it. It says, you've never seen this version of you, so give yourself a little grace and breathe through it. So how are we going to know the exact steps that we're supposed to take? How are you going to be fully comfortable if you've never been in this position before? It makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? It's not logical. So give yourself some grace. Know that your best foot is forward and everything will work out for you. Of course, growth is not going to be comfortable. You've never been here before. You've never been in this place before. You've never been in this situation. So, just breathe through it. Literally just understand that it's a new position in life. You've never been here before, and just take that and breathe. Like, okay, earlier we took a deep breath. Those sometimes can be needed to just breathe and just say, okay, God, I trust you. Pray through it. Love yourself through it. Comfortability keeps many people stagnant their whole life. But there's so much power and growth in accepting that this is not a place I've never been in, but I'm okay with that because I'm going somewhere else. I don't want to be stuck where I was. I'm going to a new place, therefore it's going to feel different. It's going to take me a minute to get comfortable with my new self, and that's fine. That's okay. There's so many parts of life in yourself that you've never seen before. So many parts of God that you've never experienced before. Blessings are waiting on you. You just got to keep going and keep pushing. Keep your faith and stay grounded and committed. Every day, every single day. Be more committed than you were yesterday. Every day, be more committed than the day before. And just grow through it, learn through it, grow with life. Literally grow with life. As life takes you, as age takes you, grow and become better and better. Just like it's a new age, you've never been in this age before. You've never been in you know what I'm saying? Like, life, it's going to be times where you're in a place you've never been. But as long as you breathe, pray through it, and just understand that I'm growing and I'm learning. Sometimes I have to fall to grow, just like a kid, a baby that's learning how to walk. Every time they fall, they're learning what not to do. You know what I'm saying? Or they're learning what to do. Every time they fall, they're learning what not to do or what to do. And one day they just end up getting up and doing that thing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes you're going to fall. Sometimes you're going to have, short times or whatever you want to call it. But get back up, keep pushing, keep going, and breathe through it, pray through it, and love yourself through it. Yeah, so jumping right into our message. I've been wanting to speak on this for a minute. Like I said, the last episode we had that I wanted to, speak on this verse. these verses, and it's Habakkuk chapter 2, verses 2 and 3. And I'm going to read the King James Version. I know a lot of times that I give a message, I read the New International Reader's Version, but I feel like the King James Version was very simple, so that we can, and I feel like we'll be able to grasp it by reading this version. So it reads, "And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for appointed time, but at the end it shall speak, and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry." I'm going to read it one more time. "And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry." What is your vision? What are your goals? What do you want to do? Where do you see yourself? What does God have for you? What's your vision? What do you want to do? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What do you want? What do you truly in your heart want to do? What is God speaking to you? What is God telling you? What are those urges and feelings that you have of, dang, I should start doing this, or dang, I want to do this? What are those? What is your vision? What is something that has been in your spirit since you was 5 and you've been wanting to do? Or that God, like, you just got a vision saying you will be doing this one day. What are those things? Write your vision. Write the promises over your life. Write it so plain that if someone else came across it, they will be able to comprehend it and run with it. I know that sounds a little crazy, but what is for you is for you. That's the first thing that came to my head. Like, why would I write this down? That means somebody can steal my stuff and they can take it and they can do it themselves. But I had to reel it back in and be like, girl, what is for me, and can't nobody take it. What's mine is mine. So, what's yours is yours. Somebody else can have the whole blueprint to your vision and still will not be able to execute it like you can. Still won't be able to. So what's yours is yours, and it'll come to pass. So we have to also at the same time, simultaneously, we have to trust the artist. Trust the creator. We have to trust God to be God in all aspects of our life. I look at this scripture as a promise, literally as a promise. If I do my part, God will do his part. There's no in between. If I create the plan, if I write it down, if I'm serious about my plan, everything will be in place for me to achieve it. Everything. And so I feel like this scripture spoke to me because I'm not organized enough. I'm not organized enough as much as I should be. I have so many ideas and they're in so many different directions, I guess, that I don't know, I'm just not organized enough. But if I get ready, God will, assist me and help me, push through and get it, fully help me. If I'm ready to fully execute it, I know God will give me everything I need to make it work, basically. If I'm ready, I know God will give me everything I need. And what's crazy is, okay, so y'all know I missed 2 weeks of doing these episodes. And if you listen to the last episode I did, I shared the scripture and I said how I was excited to talk about it. Within these 2 weeks, this scripture has really been unfolding in my life. Like, the comment I just made about unorganization is so much better now, just like in this 2 week span. I started to actually, take heed and write my vision, write down my ideas, and, whenever I receive them and whenever they come to my mind, write them down, write down the ideas that you do have, and I started to allow my life to just flow into them. That makes sense. Writing down my ideas and letting my life flow into them. That's when I know it be from God. Because if I write down what I want to do, I write down how I want to do it, or maybe I don't know the how yet. If I just write down my vision or my goals or what I want to do, it's like my life unfolds into those ideas. You know what I'm saying? I'm going about my life doing what I'm doing, and it's like things get placed into my path to achieve those things. You know what I'm saying? No, God is not about to give me the whole thing just right off bat or off rip. He hasn't been doing that, but he's been like putting little breadcrumbs for me to pick up and follow. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's actually a good analogy. God can put out the breadcrumbs one by one. Mind you, it's one by one. He don't just put them all out and you just, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if you quick like that, you just pick them up, execute, pick them up, execute, pick them up, execute. Beautiful. That's how it's supposed to be done, I feel like. But how God puts it right out in front of you and you have to kneel down, pick it up, and do with such, do with what he just gave you. You know what I mean? So I just feel like God gave me, really, I feel like God gave me this scripture for me, and I just took it very personal, and I'm just speaking on it because I feel like it can really help the next person, So, like I said, I'm just allowing my life to flow into them, and when my life does flow into them, I got to take action. Take the action that's needed. Like I said, God will give it to you, but you have to execute it. So right now I'm so focused and committed to this one idea that I have, and that I've received from God, and I'm just so excited about it. I'm not going to share it yet, but I'm just really excited, and I'm not ready to share what it is yet, but this has been in my spirit for years, and I've always said, when it's time, I will know when it's time. And God has finally given me the confirmation I need, and I'm just so excited. But, now it's up to me to execute it. It's up to me to take what God gives me and make it happen. It's up to me to, to do that. So, of course, God will open doors, but I have to walk through the door and do with what is there to help me. So I had to be ready. I have to be ready. And it's the same thing for everyone listening this morning. What if God was ready to drop that store in front of your hand? And that store in your hands. What if God was ready to drop that investment money into your hands? What if God is just waiting on you to know that, this is what you want to do and get serious about it. Sometimes God is waiting on us. We don't want our blessings to pass us by and just, go to the next part. We don't want to miss anything God has for us. We don't want our gifts to be wasted. We don't want to just want, and then 10 years later, we're still wanting and waiting. I want this message to really be an eye-opener for somebody. I want this to be exactly what you needed to hear to make that move, to create that plan and go for it. So again, the scripture says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So the other side of this message where it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. We have to trust the painter. We have to trust the creator. We have to trust God. It is for an appointed time. That time can be in 4 months. That time can be in 4 years. But work every day like today will be the day that everything will just snap, come together, and just blossom. And we may get discouraged. We may get a little overwhelmed in our process. But what I've realized is without those emotions, we won't really be able to appreciate the end result as much. We know how much hard work it took to get there. We know how much sleepless nights there were. We know how many setbacks that we experienced, and we still made it. We met that goal. We completed the vision. And that will be a great testimony to help the next person push through. Like, okay, they went through this, but they still made it. They went through this, but they still completed that goal. And if there is any way to not feel discouraged or overwhelmed, try your best to lighten up that load for yourself. Ask yourself, what can I do to make this easier for me? If that means waking up a little earlier so you won't be up all night, do that. If that means organizing your day a certain way so that you won't have those sleepless nights, do that. If that means taking your kids to the park so you can get them sleepy so they can go straight to bed when they get home so you can focus, do that. Whatever you need to do to make your load lighter, figure those things out and do that. Sometimes we can answer our own, we have the solution to our own problems. Sometimes we really do. So those feelings of, oh, I'm discouraged, I'm overwhelmed. What can I do for myself to make me not feel that way? I know sometimes it gets hard, it gets difficult, but keep your eyes on that end goal. Look back at the plan that you wrote and encourage yourself. I know one time I made basically I wrote down my goals of what I wanted to do, and on it I put, I will overcome, or I will, around my goals, I encourage myself so that when I look at those goals, I'm also being encouraged. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, the last part of the scripture says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So it may feel like it's taking forever to come, but we have to be patient with ourselves and God. And what helps me not look at it as I'm waiting is learning to enjoy the process. I'm learning to put love into what I'm doing, so it doesn't feel like I'm just waiting on all of this to snap together and happen for me. I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm putting love into everything that I do. Of course, and also at the same time, trusting God. God knows everything. God is God. He knows when we're ready for the next step. He knows when we're ready for elevation. He knows. Like I said, sometimes God is waiting on us. We have to make up in our mind what we want and that we want better. It can all start with just a clear vision. All of it can just start with just having a clear vision, and that vision written out, and knowing, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm waking up every day to do. Looking at that vision, making it plain, making it very plain and simple, so you can look at it and say, okay, this is what I'm striving to do today. Of course, within that family, children, your spouse, significant other, work, but have your vision there to, every day I'm going to do one more thing to get me closer to where I want to be. Getting focused on what's important and being ready for execution. I think that's what's really that part of being ready to execute it. Because even with the vision, we can write it out, then what? You know what I mean? Like, write it out, then what? Be ready to execute. Be ready to do with what God gives you. You can say, okay, I want to sell $1 million paintings. You'll have canvases at your house and you have paint and you haven't touched them in years. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to be this big old chef. You have food in your pantry. You have utensils. You have things to, you know what I'm saying? Execute. We can say what we want to do, but it's, be ready for execution. So like I said before, also, yes, we will experience distractions at the same time. We will be distracted. Things will come our way to make us lose focus, but that's where strength comes from. That's where perseverance comes from. In the definition, looked up the definition of perseverance, and perseverance is persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. Staying committed no matter how hard it gets. That's perseverance. Staying committed no matter how hard it gets. So we have to enjoy each step because, basically, perseverance is enjoying each step because we find the good in life itself. You know what I'm saying? Even if stuff gets discouraging, even if it gets bad, we can still find the good in that situation. We can still enjoy that step because we know it's equipping us to be better and to endure. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm going to just read the scripture one more time, and that's really what I have. Like, it's just writing a vision and being ready for that execution, being ready to do with what God has for us. And the scripture again is, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So I just been so ready to just speak. I just feel like somebody needed to really, I feel like why I really was so ready to speak on this is I want personally for this to be somebody's like epiphany that they needed to just like go, jump, run, leap, like just to make that step in a better future. Make that step in a better right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, your day-to-day is kind of slick and slow, or you just don't, you're just kind of like in a place of stagnation. Maybe, I don't know what it is, but I just feel like this could push somebody to just go, and just really obtain and have everything God has for them. Those visions that you have in your mind, or how you just know that God has so much for you. This can be what you need to literally get there. So I just pray that everybody this morning received something from this episode. I pray that God was able to speak through me to bless your week ahead or your entire life if you never hear my voice again. So God bless you. I pray that you soak in self-love and awareness. And I pray we all make today a great day. I pray that we all make today better than yesterday. And don't forget, our episodes are now on YouTube. Just type in Ventbreak, VENTBREAK, Ventbreak. And also follow us on Instagram at Ventbreak, VENTBREAK for a spiritual vitamin.